another Q&A segment on Home Truth Nigeria. Today, I will be talking on the Q&A episode 25. For those of you have not been watching the Q&A segment about Nigerian men, please start watching. So let's go straight to the first question. A lady commented and said, domestic chores, shaking my head, that's a big one. Yes, domestic chores, it's a very big thing for a lot of Nigerian men, and I think not just Nigerian men. I think it's a global thing. I mean, most people want to live in a clean and well tidied apartment, especially. When you know that people will be trooping in and out, maybe friends and all of this. Now, one of the major reasons Nigerian men are very particular about keeping their house tidy and neat is because Nigerians are very sociable people. So when a Nigerian lives in a particular place, be rest assured that you start having visitors coming to his house. Nigerians are very sociable. So no Nigerian wants a situation whereby a visitor comes into his house and for whatever reason, the house looks like a place where the rare pigs. So for this reason, Nigerians always love to make sure that their house is, tidy instead of looking untidy. The only time you could escape this is if you marry a Nigerian who is a pig, who is a pig and doesn't clean after himself. If this is the case, then nobody will bother you about domestic chores. But if you marry an average, normal thinking Nigerian man, it's a big, big concern. And I already said this. That's not hard to understand. The man is the head of the household, but it's hard to accept it that way if he's asking you for money to support him. Well, I can tell you this statement has brought a lot of problems with Nigerian men. So if you are dating a Nigerian man, like you guys are dating seriously, like you've seen this man before, you know him very well, or you guys are married or engaged, and for whatever reason, it happens to be that you're more financially stable than your Nigerian man. Please, please, I beg you, do not talk down on him because of his situation. Now, one thing a lot of you don't understand is you say when a Nigerian man is down, he doesn't forget those people who actually were of help to him. So be careful what you say to him when he's down financially, because a lot of them they don't forget, neither would they forgive. In fact, even if you guys end up together, that pain of what you told him, you may be surprised he's going to bring it up one day. So please, please, ladies, no matter the financial situation of your Nigerian guy, it still doesn't take away the fact that he wants to be seen as the head of the family. And this statement is also one of the reasons why a lot of Nigerian men would rather, marry a lady who has nothing in terms of status quo just for him to get his respect. Because you see a trend amongst Nigerian men whereby you see a Nigerian man, he would date a lady who, in quotes, is sophisticated, educated, rich, classy, and all of that. But at the end of the day, he's not going to end up marrying this lady. He would just, go to his village and then get married to one lady who, in quotes, a lot of you would think like, oh, she's not as sophisticated as me, or beautiful as me, or more educated as me, or have a lot of money as me. But the truth is, the Nigerian man, when he wants to get married, he's not looking at those things: education, money. Those things, they don't make a home. So he's looking at a woman, irrespective of her status quo, that would give him respect, that will give him peace, and a lady who will join hand for them to uh, build a life together. So again, I repeat, no matter the situation you find your Nigerian man, so long as you're not dating a scammer, you're dating a real Nigerian man. No matter the situation, please do not use because of a situation to say, I can't give you respect because you have no money and stuff. Look, there are times your Nigerian man, it could be your husband, your fiance, whatever, could ask you for a little bit of support. If it becomes a norm, then there is a problem. You're dating a scammer. So please know this and know peace. Someone said Nigerian culture is so similar to my Chinese culture, which I'm surprised. By the way, my fiance is from Nigeria. This is so true. A lot of Nigerian men who are married to, women from Southeast Asia, China, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and women from this area. I personally know about five Nigerian who are married to women from this part of the world. And the funny thing is that women from this part of the world, they tend to adapt, to the Nigerian culture easily. They start dressing like us. They eat our food so well. I mean, they are used to spicy foods. They even speak our language. They adapt so well. I know five individuals who are with women from this part of the world, and they're doing very well, as opposed to women from the Western civilization. So this is very, very true. A Nigerian man would have a mutual and have a better understanding in relationship with women from this part of the world than women from western part of the world, and that is true. I totally agree with you on this one. A lady said, I went 9 years ago to visit my Nigerian man, and within a few days I met his mother and sister, and later I met other friends and relatives. Even though I am much, well, that should be a lot. She said, much older than him. He truly loves me more than any man I've known. So I guess there's always an exception to the rule. Okay, so to start with, this wonderful lady, I noticed she's been commenting, and I welcome her comments. She's trying to express herself, which is totally fine, in a very respectful way. So she's trying to tell me or us that her Nigerian man loves her irrespective of the difference in age, and she is the exception. Well, I can tell you one thing, that I have seen cases like this for close to a decade, if not more than a decade. I've seen your cases over and over and over and over and over again, and it all follows the same the same route. Now, I can tell you this: 99% of cases of this lady, it doesn't turn out well, because every one of the cases I dealt with, every one of them felt like they were the exception. Like they were totally the exception. Now, there's something I need you guys to understand. And I always ask a lot of you ladies who are dating Nigerian men that are way younger than you. The question is, why is it so hard and difficult to find a Nigerian man who is very comfortable, financially comfortable, dating a woman way older than him? Like, why is it hard to find a Nigerian man that his family, they are doing well financially, and is dating a woman way older than him? If you know any, please come to me and tell me, because there's a strong correlation of having women who are way older, dating guys who are struggling financially, guys who are jobless, or if they have any profession, they are upcoming artists, they are singing, hoping to be like the next Davido and Wizkid and Burna Boy or Ashake or Rema, whatever the case is. These are the kind of guys a lot of them end up with. A lot of these women end up with. So I try to understand why these women don't see this, because the truth is you're just like a stopgap measure. This dude either needs you for money or visa, and if he has a family, and the family, they are down financially, what do you think would happen? You think they would just like want him for to avoid you when they need help? They would tell or say anything just so their son could get whatever thing he gets, because it's a wee situation, as we call it in Nigeria. If he gets money, he comes to the family, so they will roll the carpet and welcome you like Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. So I dare you to stop giving him money, and don't say anything about visa or him coming to your country. In fact, you don't have money to give, you don't want to bring him, you want to relocate to Nigeria. Tell him you're packing your things to relocate to Nigeria, and I can assure you this guy would deport you if you come to Nigeria. you know because when a lot of these ladies they come and start to make me understand, like, oh, they are different, they are the exception. It's funny, because at the end of the day, they all go through the same heartbreak, the same heartbreak, the same heartbreak. So there's a difference if you like, okay, you're just going to Africa or you're going to Nigeria to look for some of these boys, so that they can like make you feel young again. It's a total different thing. But when you're looking at it like, oh, okay, you're as old as his mom and you think something miraculous will happen because you're the exception, because he told you he loves you, he loves you, you met his mom, his sister, you met his ancestors, and for that reason, like everything is fine. You're kidding. I've seen cases like this more than 1,000 times. It still follows the same route. It will still end in disappointment. And I dare you not to send money for 1 year. I dare you not to tell him you don't want him to come over to your country. Tell him you want to pack your things and come to live in Nigeria. I dare you to do that. And then we'll come back and talk. And also, if you know a Nigerian man who is doing well successfully, dating a woman old enough like the mom, or you know a Nigerian man who is coming from a very successful family, dating a woman old enough like the mom, come and meet me. I will change my opinion and stance on this. So yeah, another lady said, so if a person is married in civil court and it's no record that he has been married before, how can the person find out if he's married through by traditional wedding? Well, here's the thing: if you plan on getting married to a Nigerian man in the marriage registry in Ikoyi, Lagos, and for whatever reason you're suspecting that, okay, perhaps this guy is married, you look at his age and you're wondering like, okay, why is this dude not married? Is in his 40s, what could be the problem? And you feel like, okay, something is not right there, maybe some movement you're seeing, some side talks and all of this. I would first of all advise you to halt whatever marriage you want to do. As always, as I've always said, please take your time and travel to Nigeria, visit his people to get precise and concrete information. It's very important, most especially if this guy has made his intentions known to you that, hey, look, I want to get married to you. You've met him, you've seen him, like you've met him not just once, like you've met him a lot of times. Don't just pack your bag on the day of marriage and then they just lodge you in a hotel like some deity, and then they leave you there and then they feed you, like some animal project. No, before your wedding, even before you accept whatever proposal, make sure you make a trip to Nigeria. Not just you, you could come with your friend. Do your digging, do your investigation. Make sure that you ask as much as you can and you're totally convinced that, okay, whatever thing this guy is telling you is true. Because the truth of the matter is this: traditional wedding, they're not recorded. In fact, I have a lot of friends who are married traditionally back home in Nigeria. They didn't do court marriage. They're married. They live in the same country I live. They've done their traditional wedding back home, but their marriage is not recognized here. They need to do the civil wedding before it's recognized. So traditional marriage is recognized, yes, in Nigeria, okay, but with traditional marriage, it doesn't mean you can't do court marriage. You could go and do it because you've not been married civilly before. And also, it's important to understand that even if you're married traditionally, if your culture permits more than one wife, you can still get another wife. And this guy could marry traditionally and also marry you and tell you, well, I'm allowed to have more than one wife. What would you do? So please do not rush. Take your time. Get information. Another question is this: on weekends, my Nigerian man disappears completely and appears late Sunday night. Should I be worried? um, I've been discussing with one of my subscribers who was has been telling me this also about a Nigerian guy she's talking with. In her case, the guy disappears all around the weekend. So if I were you, yes, I would be worried, especially if you're in a long distance relationship and your man disappears on certain days and then comes back with story, electricity problem, the sun did not set today in Africa. Everywhere was pitch black, comes back with stories. I would be very, very worried. My thought process would be, if he's not sick, then perhaps he's with another lady. And I've always said to you guys in one of my videos, guys who cheat, especially the ones who date you abroad and then date another person in Nigeria, when they want to spend time with the other lady, they don't want interruption. So either a lot of them switch off their phones because they know that you may call, or Some will just put their phone on silent. So even when you call, you're writing them, it doesn't work. But this doesn't mean that when it disappears in some days, this is what is happening. But if it's consistent, uh, that guy is giving attention to another to another lady. So just wait till it's your turn, and then he will give you attention. That's just the truth. Another lady said, "You said 90% of Nigerian men in online relationships are cheating. How did you get your figures?" Well, very good question. My ancestors gave me the figures. They took the data and gave me the ratio and percentage of online Nigerian men in online relationship cheating. Look, guys, I've been around this for a very long time, and I can estimate when I say this. Now, look, I stand on what I said, and I keep saying it. If you are in an online relationship, 90% of the guys in online relationship in Nigeria, they are speaking to other women, or they are on the verge of doing so. You've got some 10% who are very disciplined. I would agree with you. Most especially for those of you who have been dating Nigerian men in online relationship. You've not met this guy. You've been dating for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I know someone who's been dating a Nigerian man for 8 years. They've not met. And I was asking her, why haven't you gone to Nigeria? She said, well, I'm not so keen on going to Nigeria. I said, do you know if you started trekking, walking on foot 8 years ago, you'd have gotten to Nigeria maybe like 4 years ago. You'd have gotten to Nigeria and have gotten back to your country if you'd gone on foot. So you're not keen on going to Nigeria, but you in a supposed long distance relationship for 8 years. What is that? So the truth of the matter is this. This is what I know and I believe to be so. Now, most of the guys in online dating, a lot of them have a backup plan. Of course, like I said, some are decent and reasonable. They focus just on you, and that's 10%. Now, one thing a lot of you don't understand is this: a lot of Nigerian men don't trust Western ladies when it comes to relationship and decision making. I mean, look at it. 6 out of 10 are divorced. 6 out of 10. So a lot don't trust Western ladies. So they believe that, okay, any small twitch, this lady would dump me and tell me she's not doing again. So you think some would want to waste their time knowing that anything could warrant that? So a lot of them feel this emotion you show towards them is kind of seasonal. You can dump them anytime. So to be safe, they get options, and the way they can get options is to start speaking to another lady. If for whatever reason it turns out good with you, they close whatever thing they've started. If it doesn't turn out good, they don't beat themselves and say, "Oh, I wasted 3 years of my life talking with you." No, they continue from where they stop with that lady they are with, and they do this as some sort of insurance, plan B, plan C, and that's the truth. That's the bottom truth. So, yes, I stand by that. I totally stand by that. Another question is, it's been 5 weeks since my Nigerian man contacted me, although I see him online always. What should I do? Very simple. If you see him online and he has not contacted you for 5 weeks, also try to stay online and don't contact him. You guys will see yourself online and nobody contacts each other, nothing would happen. You all need to stop forcing yourself or chasing Nigerian men. It is culturally inappropriate. I hope I can say that. Stop chasing or forcing yourself on the Nigerian man. Let the Nigerian man come to you. Let him do the chasing. Okay, you're not a taxi driver. Stop chasing a Nigerian man. Nigeria, your value will drop the moment you start chasing or forcing yourself a Nigerian man. It will get to a point he sees you like a nuisance, like you're disturbing him. And that's the truth. Let him be. Yes, I know. Oh, he's attracted. He's sweet. He's gorgeous. He's my dream man. I'm having fantasy with him. Yes, I know it happens. But listen, most times we don't get what we want, and that's the reality of life. Most times we end up not getting what we want. That's a fact. So deal with it. If this guy is not into you, no problem. Another guy would come who is totally into you. So instead of you to try to force him, you'll be making a big mistake. Your value will be dropping. He'll treat you like trash. And that's why some disappear on you and then they appear. A lot of them play peekaboo with you. On Friday, they don't talk to you till Monday. And there's nothing you can do because the guy knows that like you can't do without him. And that's the truth. So let these guys be. Don't force yourself on them. Ask any lady that has experience on chasing Nigerian men. She will tell you it's one of the worst things that can happen. When a Nigerian man wants you, he knows what to do. That's Nigerian men. Well, they're very expressive. When they want you, they know what to do. So another question this lady said, do Nigerian men mean it when they say I love you? Because they use affectionate words a lot, and I do not know if they are real. Well, there are two sides to this. If you're dating a real Nigerian man who is independent, has his own money, doesn't depend on you for anything, when he tells you I love you, he says it because that's how he feels and that's what he means, you know. But if you're dealing with these guys who need you to survive, then he will use he's going to use I love you. I love you to finish you. And that's the truth. He's going to use this I love you to the point that you yourself you would not treasure this word anymore. So to better understand this, if they come to you and they tell you I love you, or you're dealing with a Nigerian man who's like using I love you and everything, please, first thing you want to do is to look at his situation, look at the situation of this guy, and then look at your situation as well. Are you giving this guy money? Is this guy wanting you to come to Nigeria, get married to him so he can relocate? If that's the case, he's going to call you all the sweet names in the world: babe, cupcake, sugar pie, agbalumo, whatever thing it is. He's going to call you everything just to, in his mindset, these are things that Western ladies they like. Some would even change your name to Lovette or Lovelin just so they make you happy. And by the time you're done with these guys, you would need that you need therapy. So you start believing when people tell you I love you because these guys would make you would not find these words to be important anymore. So don't take these words when you look at the situation of the guy and yourself and they say it to you. Don't take it to be serious. It just mere words. Just mere words. It's the same thing when you're dealing with religious guys. The person who is going to pray for you will still come back and scam you, scam you for your hard-earned money. So, guys, that's just the truth. So, guys, as always, if you got questions, you can always write me on hometruth86@gmail.com. So please like, share, subscribe. Home Truth Nigeria. Peace out.